Good morning, everybody. It's Positive Tuesday today, March 4th, 2025. For Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm Ben Dryden, and you're watching The Big Show, Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by Professional Exteriors and Interiors. With 20 years of experience, this locally owned and operated business provides quality work both on the inside and on the outside of your home or business. Like Fitzy and I, they believe it's the little things that make a big difference. Give them a call today, see what they can do for you. The number's right there on the screen, 715-520-2271. Fitzy, good morning. Hey, I think Happy Tariff Day. Is that a thing?
Happy Tariff Day. We all got to pay more.
Yeah, I got an email. So I've subscribed to a lot of emails, email list, and Libertarian Party. That was their email this morning. Their statement. Happy Tariff Day. I'm like, I don't think that's a thing, but what do I know? It is today. It is today, I guess. Yeah. Good morning, Dirk. Yeah, and you have someplace to be, so we'll try to wrap it up here around 9:05 at the latest, right? Where are you off to?
Well, we have a retirement for one of the state troopers. Jody Cummett has been a trooper here in Barron County for 28 years. She retired last week. Her party is this morning here in our building so that all our Barron County people can attend that. So we'll have a lot of state patrol people here and a lot of dignitaries and some other people. So we've got a big morning planned here to thank her for her 30 years of service. And I know we put a Facebook post out and lots and lots of people commented. So that was great. So we've got an exciting morning here. It's sad and exciting. Jody's been part of our team. She was part of the Kloss case because she happened to be on light duty. So she was here every day during the Kloss case for 88 days. Wow. She plays big roles in our department and has been literally a trooper in our county for 28 years, I think it was. So she's written a lot of kids, their grandkids, and maybe the next group of kids. I don't know.
I don't know whose post it was because I saw that was on Facebook. A lot of people shared it. I think it was Greg Schaefer over in Gwinnett County. I don't remember where it was, where he commented. I just happened to see it somewhere. And I thought it said, you gave me my first ticket or something like that. It was so great. Yeah. It's hard to replace that, man.
Yeah, and I got my letter written for the State Patrol because they don't want to fill that position, of course, and we'll be down a trooper because they're short troopers. But I always like to run my letters up the chain. So the superintendent, if he comes today, he'll be getting a letter from me saying, make sure you replace that position. So, so that'll take us down. But we're blessed in our county. We have 3 troopers in our county, and like Washburn and some of them other counties only have 1 trooper. We're blessed. Obviously, we're bigger, but we're blessed in the fact that we have troopers available in our county, and some if you go down to the south, they work the interstate, and that's it. Our troopers go on calls with us. They do real police work with us, so they are a member of our team here in our family.
Well, again, it's hard to really replace that position. Right. I mean, you could replace that position with someone else, but that's a lot of years of experience, man.
Yep.
But happy retirement.
So, happy retirement.
No good. Well, we don't really have a lot of sports, a lot going on. I mean, there was only one thing I found that was, I think it's like Problem Gambling Awareness Month is March. And I'm like, and as you know, I have a problem that I can't gamble on sports unless I go to casinos. But I don't think that's what they were talking about. So I'm like, well, we won't bring that part up.
That's what it was. I think we should have on. Yeah. Duke won last night. That's all that matters.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good one.
Duke, North Carolina this weekend. NCAA tournament start next week.
I think today, isn't it?
Women's start today, I think.
I'll have to go back and look. All right. Well, last week you and I discussed about the 5 things you did last week. And I said, oh, man, we should have actually done that. So this time around, I'm like, that's it. So we're replacing our sports talk this morning with that part. We do have some things to actually get to. You put out a press release yesterday. Barron County residents, this is our headline. Barron County residents lose $50,000 to scammers. Sheriff issues warning. And there's also a large-scale emergency response drill set for Shellick School this Friday. I believe that you guys will be part of that. So we need to get to some of those things. But first, Elon Musk and Doge want to know, Fitzy, because, well, maybe not from you, but we'll just say they do. They want to know, because you're at taxpayer dollars, what are 5 things that you did? What are 5 things you did at work last week?
Well, I got gas in my squad, so which is going up now because of all the tariffs. No, I don't have any idea. So, and people are joking about it. but it's not his job to tell me 5 things. What's
No.
that going to do? He needs to go to the supervisors, and supervisors should know. And I think I said that last week. This isn't something you do. That'd be like me, Jeff French, saying, "What did every county employee do in Barron County?" Well, that's great, but he should go to his 10 supervisors and say, "Make sure your employees are doing what they're supposed to be doing. If they're not, let me know, and we're going to cut positions." Or meet with the 10 people and say, "Hey, what did your employees do?" And randomly pick employees. I don't know, but yes. So yes, I did a lot last week. Actually, some newsworthy things I did as our bids came in for our jail project under budget, under the estimated budget by about $300,000. So that's a good thing. So we're moving forward our jail project. So we had that bid opening, which was, excuse me.
Sure.
So just some emergency call. I just got to turn it down.
Whatever.
So our bids came in under budget. Bid openings, I'd never been to one of those, but it's funny because no one wants to turn their bids in till like 1 minute before. So it was kind of interesting to see all these businesses handing their bids in at literally 1:58 p.m. before the 2 p.m. deadline because they don't want anybody to last minute cuts or whatever it was. So it came really close. It was within $50,000 of a $1.7 million project. Bids came in within the first and second bid. So ours is just a little addition. So we're going to $1.7 million just for an addition. So I can't imagine building a big jail. But yeah, it has to be done. It's forward thinking things, and we're expanding our video visitation. So anyway, back to our 5 things. And then those bids had to be reviewed. Then they had to go on to the law enforcement committee. So I went to law enforcement committee. I had a resource development meeting. So I did 5 things last week. So I think we're covered.
Well, I'm not hearing 5. I'm hearing 3 so far.
I went to a library meeting and I watched hockey. So
I watched hockey. Okay. I don't know. I'm not sure we can keep your job. You did. How about this? Last week you did a live show.
I did a live DrydenWire
and answered questions from your constituents. Right.
Yes.
Any questions that they had? That's good.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So
I went to a training online. I had a detective meeting. I mean, I can give you, and again, it's my job. I just think it's funny. And that's what we're making some light of it. Because
we are, because you have to.
You can't just say, if you don't email me back, your position, you might not exist. I mean, that's just silly to say.
Well, kind of, right?
Right.
I don't know, but that's kind of fun to do. Maybe we'll incorporate this into.
What 5 things did you do?
I don't know.
Yeah, come on.
I showered on, I think, Thursday. So that's something, right?
Right.
Once a week, man, like clockwork. Yeah.
And you're on TV, so showering is important. It's part of your job.
No, I did actually get a few things. So, and actually I found it was actually kind of difficult to do. Not because I was trying to find 5 things, but I could tell you 5 things I've done in the last hour. So like, how do you get it down to just 5? There's so many things. So here's just broad stroking. We published 43 articles, including 9 original stories, with 6 of those being crime in court. 31 obituaries. So Grace, my daughter Grace Olson, she actually is our online obituary manager now, which has been absolutely huge because she's like our succession plan, because she will be the editor for DrydenWire at some point, and then she'll eventually end up running DrydenWire, and she's extraordinarily capable. So we had 74 total published posts. We had over 50,000 users and over 100,000 page views last week, which is probably about an average week. Like yesterday, we had 17,000 people on our website just yesterday. So 50,000 over a week, that's probably a little bit below normal. We had 3 live shows, of course, with you, where you can answer, people can ask you questions, and you can answer those. Then on Thursday, we had Romaine Quinn on for a budget process regarding the budget process. Obviously, he's on Joint Finance Committee, so I'm a big fan of hearing directly from the source rather than reading about what someone heard him say. Let's just go right to that. And he answered several questions, including people that don't particularly care for him, which that's always kind of fun too. And then on Friday, we had Superintendent Todd Fellhofer on from the Shell Lake School District on the operating referendum. Both those shows are about an hour long. And honestly, when I look at this, I haven't done this in a long time. Can you imagine if we put all of this into one weekly paper?
Yeah.
I mean, just the transcripts alone from our shows would be 2.5 full pages. Over 30 obituaries, close to 50 articles, plus our advertisers. That'd be a really pretty legit thick newspaper. I didn't really think about that until I look at the review of last week. I'm like, holy cow, that's actually a lot when you put it all together into a 1 week.
I was going to send you an article and I forgot, but I was reading something about the Journal Sentinel. Like their readers are down 20%, but their online is up 40% or 50%. So I think you beat everybody to the punchline in what you do, because obviously no one's reading the paper, but they're going online and viewing whatever it is. And you sharing our press releases is key to this. Like, letting you know about a crime that happened is great, but this press release we're going to talk about next is very important to people, because it can literally stop crimes from happening and not people lose $50,000. So, but I know we'll get to that. But just to close out Doge, I think it's good, as you said, and as we talked about offline and online today. It is hard to put 5 things. What did I do? 5 things, but when you really put it together, it's a good thing. You're like, wow, I did a lot last week. I mean, we're really making
in a weird way. Yeah,
it's
kind of interesting to look back at it. You know what I'll do? As soon as the show's over, I'll put up a post on Facebook, and it'll just be on our Facebook page and on our website. It'll just, we'll just ask what 5 things you worked last week, and see what people kind of say, because I found it to be a pretty fun exercise, to be honest. I also had 7 Zoom meetings, 13 conference calls, including a discussion on upcoming guests. She's the first female executive in baseball's history. She's for the Brewers. We're getting that scheduled, I think, for March 20th. We started a new partnership with a new advertiser. I had an IT committee updating our live streaming and availability for people to watch our board meetings. We're running some hiccups, some technical things. So I gave a full update to our IT committee about that. So it was actually kind of fun to do, going, my goodness, I actually did a lot more than I thought.
Right. And some weeks you don't have all of those meetings, and it's great. And I can do police work instead of going to meetings all the time. But I think it's important that we reflect, and that's what we do on the show all the time, reflect on what happens in the last week or whatever it is. So one more sports note. Did you see Duke was the first NCAA basketball team to have a general manager? They have a female general manager that runs the Duke basketball team. First one ever.
Actually, I guess I didn't realize that college teams didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't know that.
College teams don't have. She's a general manager that runs NAL and does players development. That's
this probably going to be a thing.
They had her on the screen a couple of times last night about how she's the first one ever in college basketball.
My goodness. You're going to have them now, right?
Right, because of NIL.
Yeah, which is just stupid. So, all right, we do have some important things to get to here. We'll get to that in 15 seconds after word from Spooner Health.
Spooner Health, compassion is at the center of everything we do. It's rooted in who we are and why we're here. It unites us as providers, neighbors, and as a community. Learn more at spoonerhealth.com.
All right. I just found.
I'm back to regular Mountain Dew. Someone asked me if I switched from regular Mountain Dew to, because I had some Baja Blast in the last couple of weeks, and so that's how people.
Funny that they notice. That's great.
We talk about people noticing when we're not on and when our show's not on. And someone asked, "Hey, did you switch to Baja Blast?" And it was just, whatever. I bought a different kind of Mountain Dew. So Mountain Dew, if you're listening.
Yeah, I think that's what I knew that people were watching, because I don't really pay attention to how many people watch live. As we know, 99% of the people actually watch the replay. And actually, I think I sent you a photo. Ted Nugent and Brad Schimmel and this other host, they were live last week, and I watched about 10 minutes of it. And honestly, I was just curious to see how many people were watching. And at no point did it get over 17 people watching it live. I'm like, this is freaking Ted Nugent and Brad Schimmel, like, only 17. So, yeah, and those numbers aren't actually accurate. You have to click on it to actually count as a viewer. Right. So we know those are a little jaded anyway. But, yeah, I think that's when I realized that the show was going well, because this was a few months ago when I didn't put up a post that we weren't doing a show. And, 10 people, 8 to 10 people within the first 10 minutes, by 8:40. No show today? No. Right, we had a day that we didn't, so now we have to announce that we're not going to do a show.
Yeah, one day ahead of time.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
People can make their plans. We appreciate everybody watching, either live or on.
And Gay Magnifici is probably down in Florida. Your mother's probably watching in some fancy place, Arizona. Jerks, jeepers.
Yeah.
I want to test something here. I found there's these new buttons, and I don't know if it's just for my side or yours. Oh, nuts. It's just my side. There's like a whole bunch of different things, and there's balloons. I was hoping it would be on your side
Yeah.
as well. Well, I'll see if I can get it figured out.
Okay.
And there's one with rain. Like, what's the?
It is going to rain. We'll have Dirk's weather forecast shortly.
Yeah, we'll get to that shortly. All right. So you put out a press release yesterday, and our headline was Barron County residents lose 50,000 to scammers. Sheriff issues warning. You touched on this a little bit last week and said I really can't talk about it now because it's an investigation. So then when you sent it out yesterday, I'm assuming that's what we're referring to from last week's show. So, but for people who didn't get a chance to read it, what is that about, and why did you feel it was important enough to put out a press release?
Well, because we had two different ones last week that involving a lot of money, and then when we sat down and looked at it, we looked at what we've done over the last couple of weeks. Since the first of the year, we've lost $50,000. People cash out of people's pockets in Barron County to scammers, and that just can't happen. I mean, there's nothing. It's frustrating from a law enforcement stance because we can't get their people's money back. It's illegal. They're frauding these people, but we've got to do a better job of doing and talking about this. So I sent it out again. I write about this every month in the paper, in the Senior Review or whatever it is. But I wanted to put this out because I think I don't have a headline, and I think $50,000 is a headline. I mean, if you do these separately, it's 7,000 here and 5,000 here and 500 here and 20,000 here and 10,000 here. Yeah. And so I just added them all up and put some tips on there because the scammers are getting really good. And this grandparent scam, I know Chippewa County had put a post out. They lost like $100,000 in the grandparent scam. So there's just a ton of scams out there. I want everybody to be aware of it. And, so I made a big splash. And I think we have to make a big splash on stuff like this. Hang up. There's the only thing you can do is hang up. Don't argue with them. They'll swear at you. They'll threaten you. Don't pay them in gift cards. Don't put cash in a box. Don't give it to a courier, Uber, whatever it is. Don't pay anybody that comes to your house. Call us and we'll figure it out. But there's not much we can do. All of these things get tracked to a phone number, which leads outside the United States, and we can't do anything. We can't get their money back. So people
I have a question for you. Maybe I missed it in there. Are these people calling home phone numbers, or are they calling cell phone numbers?
Most of them are cell phone numbers that I know of.
Because I mean, I go through Verizon, and anytime a number comes up, you don't know. You have an opportunity to block it. And most people, maybe they don't know how to block a phone number. We maybe put out like a step-by-step how to block a phone number. But, I mean, save the phone number, call. So if somebody gets a call like this and they're suspecting of something's off, who do you want them to call if they're a Barron County resident?
No. I mean, there's not – if you didn't lose anything, there's nothing we can do about it. So you can't.
Okay, so if you get a call, don't call law enforcement.
But if you lose money, we need to know about it. So – but they are calling, and again, if you read the comments, and I hope everybody does, there's a lot of good comments, and some people have said they've called my home number. So they are doing landlines too. It's a dial machine, computer generated. It just randomly dials numbers, and people it hits. And if they get somebody, and if they make money, they make money. If they don't, they don't. But you only got to make $1,000 a day, cash in hand. You don't report it to anybody because you're outside the country, and you've made money. So it's cash in a box. And that gets routed from different mailboxes to different mailboxes. It's a third party vendor that picks up this money and sends it off to someone else. And they don't know what they're doing. They're just getting paid to deliver a package and send it off to someone else. It's suspicious, but it's not illegal. The middleman is not doing anything wrong. It's changing money into Bitcoin. Bitcoin is you can't trace it. It's gone. So it's a lot of different things out there, and we listed a lot of the different scams, from the grandparent scam, Publishers Clearinghouse, rental property scams. Never pay for a property. I understand it might be too good a deal to be true, and like, this is a 2-bedroom apartment, they only want $800, I'll take it. Well, if they want your $800 ahead of time, and then they say, well, then I'll show it to you, and you send them $800, and they just took pictures of somebody's apartment off the internet, and it's really not. It's already rented. So that's happened. It happens here. These extortion cases, we have people taking pictures of themselves and sending it to somebody that they think they're in love with. And it's not the person on the other line. It's a scammer. And now they have this. And I don't know if they're going to send the picture to all your friends, but you can't take pictures. of yourself. So
I don't think anyone would take a picture of me and send it to someone because I don't think you're gonna get any money. Right?
yeah.
No.
You're like, you owe me. If you send me that picture, you owe me.
Right. I was gonna say, isn't there a law? But I thought you just said maybe there is. But what is the law on this stuff? What is the crime?
Well, it's fraud. I mean, you've committed fraud. I mean,
But
if I promise to shingle your house and I don't come and do it, that's fraud. And you pay me to do the job. It's fraud. So all of it is fraud. So, but we haven't arrested anybody. Somebody said, how many people are in jail? None of them, because we can't catch them. They're all out of the country. No one in the United States is running these scams. They're all outside the United States. So
it's just interesting that we can't figure out how to block that.
But if you answer your phone, you can block it. But if you answer your phone and somebody says, hey, Ben, put some cash in a box, or Chris Fitzgerald is going to go to jail, you're like, well, I'll help him out. And you put cash in a box and somebody comes to your house and picks it up.
That's true. How do you prevent that? I mean, like anybody could do that.
And they're very good. I think some of this has to do with AI. I'm not up on AI enough to learn about it, but that's my next class I want to take, is something on AI, because AI is voice recognition, picture recognition, but verify all the information. Never take money out of your bank locally, shop locally, give locally. You can't win the lottery if you haven't been to California. You can't win the California lottery. I don't know. We keep explaining it, and we're going to senior housing projects and giving this talk. We have a whole talk on this. So if you have a group that wants to listen to this, we'll be happy to do this. But they're scary. They threaten us. We're very nice in Northwest Wisconsin. We answer our phone because it might be our neighbor that needs our help. So we're just too nice around here, and that's why people take advantage of that.
That's true. So, and yeah, you can say it over and over, but you're right. It's just hard. Well, in a different context, we get that. I just had to explain a very lengthy email once again, or a message on a Facebook post last week about, you just have Republicans on all the time. But it's not just that we have Republicans. It's the fact that they are the elected official. We want to hear directly from them. I don't care if they're Republican, right. But you can say it over and over and over again, but somehow it just doesn't seem to get through to some people.
And you'll have anybody on that wants to be on, but you can't just be on to talk about whatever I think I want to. You got to be in a position of.
I don't understand. It hurts my brain. Yeah. It just does. So, you had listed something in there, in that press release about. I don't have it in front of me.
I have it.
Something squad. Join the something squad or something.
Scam squad.
Scam squad. But I didn't really see a lot of information about that.
Right. I just put our thing up. It was just something that we came up with a couple years ago that says join our scam squad. And when I give a talk, I tell them they're junior deputies, and they have the authority on the phone to hang up and say, I work with the sheriff's department. I'm on their scam squad. It was just something fun. Yeah. So
that's awesome.
It was just something fun. And they can say, I've been to a scam thing with the sheriff's department. If you need them, go ahead and call them. If they threaten that they're going to arrest you, they're threatening, like, hey, I'll put coffee on for them. I'm part of the scam squad. I work with the sheriff's department. I'm part of their scam squad. It was just something fun to do if somebody's threatening you on the phone. So just something fun. We thought it would be, but it's out of control right now. So it's truly out of control. I mean, in 2 months' time, we've lost $50,000. I mean, that could have went a long ways in people's, if Doge wants to do something, I got a whole list of stuff they can do. So, but yeah, it's all out of the.
Yeah. You know what, Dirk? I'm going to do that too, but for like anybody, right? When Verizon Wireless calls and, hey, your bill is late. It's like, I work for the Barron County Scam Squad. So, and Sheriff Fitzgerald said. Yeah, that'll be great. All right, so I know we have a little shorter of a time today, so we have one more thing here. Large-scale emergency response drill set for Shell Lake School this Friday. That was our headline, put it on our website yesterday. That was from the Shell Lake Police Chief, but it's, the Barron County Sheriff's Department is going to be part of that as well. For people who didn't see that, what is that about?
Yeah, Shell Lake has got the Shell Lake Chief and the Shell Lake School are putting on a large drill. They must be off of school this week, and the school's available. They're doing a large drill with fire and EMS and Sheriff's Department, and obviously we're very close to the border. So the Shell Lake Chief asked us if we want to take part. I'm sending our SWAT commander over there with a deputy or two to take part. We would be in a support role for them. We wouldn't be obviously the first one. I mean, we could be if we could be in Baronet and be the closest car besides the Shell Lake car. I mean, we're only 5 miles from Shell Lake.
Well, we just had a situation like
Correct.
2 months ago, or I don't know. Feels like 2 months ago.
The swatting call, yeah.
Yeah, right. And you guys were there. I mean, and if I recall, you were like, yeah, they said just wait at the county line. And you're like, screw it. It's like 5 more miles, so we're all going to go.
Right. And that's so he's got a great plan. Hats off to the Shell Lake School and the Shell Lake Chief for all their stuff. I mean, I know Chief Mike's going to take part from Spooner and Washburn County and the State Patrol and a DNR. And so it'll be a large scale operation. I won't be able to, I'm not attending where our school resource officer, Andy Cranbill, is getting a statewide award as the school resource officer of the year on Friday. So I need to go to Dell's when he receives that award. So that press release will come on after that. So we've already sent something out a little bit, but he's getting an award. So congratulations to Andy Cranbill for that. But yeah, our SWAT commander and a couple of our deputies will be taking part in Friday's event. So it's a good training. It's a good learning experience. It's nice to use the school.
I think school's off that day. I don't think there's kids there. I think that's one of the reasons.
No, there's not kids there.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I think it must be spring break must start for Shell Lake a little earlier or something. I don't know why they don't have school, but I don't think they do. So there's no kids. So like, just take this opportunity and do some training.
Right, and that's exactly what they're doing.
So who gets the bill for that?
There's no bill.
This is just this is what we all do for each other.
This is a training exercise. So, we would consider it training. It's not going to cost us. No. I don't believe we have anybody extra coming in. It's our on-duty people that are going to head up there and do it. I don't believe if there is a cost, it's part of our training budget, and I wouldn't. So, I mean, I don't think he's got a cost into it. I'm sure everybody's got some overtime. He's probably got his whole department coming in. I don't know. That's probably 3 people as part-time people. Yeah. And then I'm sure Washburn County's got a large role, but it might be their training day. It could be instead of training on Wednesdays for SWAT team, we're going to train on this Friday, and his SWAT team is going to come in, or however it is. So we're planning something like this for the summer. We just talked about that about a month ago. We're trying to plan something like this in our county for all of our police departments and our SWAT team itself. So we're working on. We got to continue to train because these things happen. So,
well, if you're going to commit a crime, don't do it in Shell Lake on Friday.
Correct.
And I'm just like picturing all of the toilets are going to be getting flushed during that, because all the lights and sirens are going by, and everyone, people just going to be throwing the drugs in the toilet and flushing them down. Like, oh no, they're coming to get me. So you should do that every Friday, right before the weekend. Just do that every Friday. Just drive around with lights and sirens on with the SWAT truck. Yep. All right. We have obviously some weather coming up as well. Here is our official forecast from Dirk Miller. So rain is still 3 to 8 inches. I believe he had. I didn't write it down, Dirk, but I believe it was 3 to 8 inches. 3 to 6 is more like in. Shoot, I can't remember now. Some areas might be getting more like the 4 to 8, and some 3 to 6.
I got it right here. I'm just trying to find it myself. We got a weather alert from our EM guy.
Yeah, I saw that this morning.
But yeah, it's not going to be pleasant anytime soon.
And my understanding is potentially a lot of wind, which could be pretty crazy. So if it gets cold tonight, so looking at Wednesday, low is 10 to 15. Yeah, it's going to be difficult travel. We'll be monitoring probably later this afternoon, early evening. We'll start looking or monitoring emails for school announcing closings or delays. Don't know if that's going to be a factor, but with our 6 counties, I'm pretty sure there's probably going to be a few. We'll kind of see how that goes.
It depends on what happens with this rain tonight. Boy, why can't I find that?
I just got it too, like 10 minutes before we went live.
Yeah, and I have it, and I just don't know where it went.
All right.
Mike, here it is, sit rep for the snowstorm. So we were under Barron County, Northwest Wisconsin, is under a winter storm warning. Dangerous winter weather is expected for the next 12 to 36 hours. Or is occurring, considerable travel problems are expected. So that's Barron County, Washburn County, our area gets that. Now, some of it is under a winter weather advisory. So if you look at part of Washburn, is under just an advisory, which means, potential dangerous weather. Just be aware. But just below us, or just below that Minnesota area, is a blizzard warning. And that's really bad. But yeah, we're 4 to 8 inches, but it's going to be like 50 degrees after that. So, should melt right away, but we are going to have some problems late tonight, early tomorrow morning, and then it gets better. So
they need to change those terms: advisory, warning, and watch. Like, I feel like they all mean the same thing, and I never really know. I'm like, wait, which one is that? Does that mean it's gonna happen, or I can never remember?
Take action or don't take action.
Yeah, right. Just tell me that. That's all I want to know.
Think about it or don't think about it. One of the
I know. Also, a reminder: daylight saving time begins.
Oh, yeah.
So I have an announcement, or I have to, obviously, in the news business, I can't just remember everything. So I have lots of internally on our website, kind of the editor part, the behind the scenes thing. I can put in reminders for whatever, something, and I have some things for like a year away. So I had one set for yesterday that I put in months ago to remind me that we should put a post up about daylight saving time ending. And I was doing it this morning. I'm like, wait a minute, didn't we just do this?
Yeah,
Like a few months, like it wasn't 6 months ago. I mean, it was 4 months ago, and today's years old when I found out that we only have 4 months of actual real day. I mean, real time, as in like at noon, the sun is at the highest peak. I thought it was every 6 months, and I've done these every, for 4 months or twice a year. I always thought it was every 6 months, so I had to look into it. So I put a post up this morning, and I made sure I put that in there, that apparently in 2007, that's when our Congress, in all their wisdom,
when they were in office for that one day.
Right, yeah.
Oh, wait, sorry.
They moved it from, extended it from October to November, and then instead of April, they moved it to March, so it shrunk from 6 months down to 4 months. I always thought it was 6 months, and I don't know why I didn't know that. So just keep that in mind. Move your clocks ahead this Sunday.
On Sunday, bars can stay open, or they lose an hour of serving time. So.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So it happens at 2 a.m.
Okay. So. There's Dirk Burnett, and that's what he said. Burnett and Washburn County 3 to 5 points, east and south 4 to 8 inches. Yeah, and apparently there could be some wind and some blizzardly snow.
Yeah, wind is going to be the problem, but I don't think kids should get too excited about school being canceled tomorrow.
You don't know. Yeah, you never
know.
Again, I think you're right. It depends on the ice. So there could be maybe more likely of a delay because of it getting wet and then all of a sudden freezing. Yeah, well, point is, go to DrydenWire.com.
That's right.
To look for any of the updates, because we will have those. All right, what do you have coming up this week?
Watch
our show.
This week, I'm going to the Dells for Andy Cranville's getting that award. Emma flies home tomorrow, so Emma will be home for a couple days. So, Jace has some hockey this weekend. Playoffs start next week, so we'll just get into hockey mode here for playoffs. So, good luck to all of our boys basketball playoffs start tonight. A lot of those games got moved up early. Girls basketball, I know Cameron, Rice Lake are still in it. They have finals this week, Thursday, Saturday. So lots of exciting high school sports this week. So enjoy your sports teams, enjoy your community. Thanks for what you do, and go make a difference.
Your daughter is coming in, and my daughter will be here. Grace, she'll be here. It's her 26th birthday this Friday. So all of our family will have like over 20 people here, which I always love that, right?
Yeah,
so nieces, nephews, my sister over from Minnesota, so they'll be here. But I think this Thursday, just a reminder to everyone, this Thursday, our guest, Emily Gall, the founder of North of 8 Design, and she's also a Barnett County Board Supervisor, she will be co-hosting with me when we're chatting with Executive Director of Family Friendly Workplaces, Neil Klein. That's Thursday at 8:30 a.m. right here on Facebook. Other than that, that's all I got, man, and we'll see you next week, huh?
Sounds great. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you. For Barron County Sheriff Chris Fitzgerald, I'm Ben Dryden, and you've been watching The Big Show, Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy, presented by Professional Exteriors and Interiors. With 20 years of experience, this locally owned and operated business provides quality work both on the inside and on the outside of your home or business. Like Fitzy and I, they believe it's the little things that make a big difference. Give them a call today. See what they can do for you. The number is right there on the screen, 715-520-2271. With that, we'll see all of you next week for another exciting episode of Positive Tuesday with Ben and Fitzy. So until then, thank you for watching and have a blessed day.